Number 15, Boat Captain says, if the Codex Vaticanus is the oldest Bible, how much does it differ from modern Bibles, if at all? Okay, so that's a really hard question to answer because there could be tiny little variations in a million different places. So it's like, how do you quantify that with an amount? So here's how I've heard people talk about this. First off, Codex Vaticanus might be is it the oldest? I just don't remember right now between the Alexandrian. Anyway, I don't remember which one's older off the top of my head. I should know this, but I haven't studied it in a while. But let's say that's the oldest. It's not actually the oldest of every section of the Bible. So we have manuscripts or little, even sometimes pieces of, say, like the Gospel of John, a little piece like the size of a credit card with stuff written on front and back that would date back to an earlier time than that. So we can actually trace back scripture earlier than that. Then we have quotes in the church fathers, some of whom wrote before that time. So Vaticanus is just a compilation. It's like the entire text of scripture, right? That's what's unique about it. It's so much at a very early time. How much does it differ from our current Bibles? Not much at all. The differences are very small. And what textual critics do, which I'm glad they do, is they don't just pick one manuscript like Vaticanus and then say, let's translate that word for word as is, and let's ignore all the other manuscripts, like little pieces of John or Mark or quotes from the church fathers over here. They don't just ignore all that stuff. They put it all together and compare it to try to come out with the most accurate, closest to the original writing possible. So there are some variations, but they're not going to be anything that's going to freak you out as a Christian, I don't think. If you're interested in, where is that? If you're interested in really learning about this more, what I would recommend, Boat Captain, you might check out this book, Myths and Mistakes in New Testament Textual Criticism. This one just came out in recent years. It just recently came out. And this is written by two believers, Huxon and Gurry, who are very much holding to the authority and the trustworthiness of the scriptures, but they'll get deep into these issues for those who are interested in doing it. The only thing I'd offer is this, Boat Captain and others who are looking into it, please be patient. When it comes to manuscripts, avoid quick, little snippy answers to tough questions about large amounts of data, and be willing to take time, if you really want to understand the issues, to do some study. This is an accessible book that you could read on without having a bunch of college education in textual criticism. So I would recommend that. But yeah, there's basically nothing you should be really worried about. One area where I think it would be different, I'll give you an example, is I think in Vaticanus, probably the biggest area is John chapter 8, right? John 7:53, like the end of John 7 and chapter 8 through verse 12. So like 13 verses, I think it is, I think they're not present in Vaticanus, I believe. But then I'm one of those who's of the persuasion that those were not originally in John, those verses. And if you look at whatever Bible you own, most likely, in most of them, not all, there's going to be footnotes that talk about that issue. So this is not a surprise to anybody. Yeah. I wonder if they have the First John passage about the Father, Son, and Spirit in there. I just don't know. Anyway, there's some more research you can do on it.